The cabin hums with the steady roar of jet engines. Northwest Orient Flight 305 has been in the air less than half an hour. Passengers flip through magazines, sip drinks, smoke cigarettes. The easy calm of air travel in 1971. Then, a hand extends across the narrow aisle. A folded note lands in front of a flight attendant. She slips it into her pocket without looking. The man leans close, speaking in a flat, steady tone that leaves no room for doubt. "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." Her eyes widen. She unfolds the paper. Block letters spell out the unthinkable. The stranger beside her is calm, polite, even soft-spoken. He wears a business suit, a black tie, a raincoat. In his briefcase, he claims, is an explosive device. And with that, the ordinary flight is transformed into one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history. The man calls himself Dan Cooper. The world would come to know him as D.B. Cooper. The year is 1971. America is restless. The Vietnam War drags on. Protests shake the streets. Hijackings are common, sometimes one a week, but almost always ending with a political demand or safe landing. Airports are open doors. No metal detectors, no bag checks. Anyone can walk aboard with a suitcase in hand, no questions asked. In this climate, Cooper's plan unfolds like clockwork. He is not panicked, not reckless. He is deliberate, methodical, a man who seems prepared. When the flight attendant takes the note to the cockpit, the pilots exchange grim looks. A choice has already been made for them. The stranger in seat 18C now controls the fate of everyone aboard. Cooper opens the black briefcase just enough for the attendant to glimpse red cylinders, wires, and tape. Whether real or fake, it is convincing. His demands are simple but calculated. $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, a fuel truck waiting in Seattle. The message is relayed to air traffic control. On the ground, FBI agents scramble. The airline president approves the ransom. Better money lost than lives. Yet inside the cabin, Cooper remains unnervingly calm. He orders another bourbon and soda. He smokes cigarettes. He makes small talk. Passengers remain unaware that their lives hang in the balance. It is a hijacking without chaos. The predator seated quietly among his prey. Hours pass in tense anticipation. Outside, the Seattle night is drenched in rain. FBI agents rush cash from a bank, parachutes from a nearby airbase. A fuel truck waits at the edge of the runway. The plane descends. Passengers glance out the window at flashing lights in emergency vehicles. They have no idea why they are being asked to disembark. One by one, they step into the night air, safe and unharmed. Not a single passenger realizes they've been pawns in a dangerous negotiation. Only Cooper remains, calm, composed. The money and parachutes are brought aboard. He checks the bag, counts the bundles, and seems satisfied. But he does not leave. His demand is stranger still. The plane must take off again, this time bound for Mexico City. The flight crew is exhausted, shaken, but Cooper is firm. He specifies altitude, airspeed, even the position of the flaps. The Boeing 727 must fly low, just 10,000 feet, and slow, around 200 miles per hour. He instructs the pilots to keep the cabin unpressurized and the rear staircase lowered. It is a plan designed for one thing: escape. At 7:40 p.m., Flight 305 lifts off once more, this time into a wall of wind and freezing rain. The night sky swallows the plane in darkness. In the rear, Cooper prepares. He ties the bag of money to his body with cord. He tightens the parachute harness. Rain lashes against the fuselage. The wind howls like a living beast. The crew feels the cabin shudder. The pressure shifts. Warning lights flicker in the cockpit. And then, a sudden thud. A rush of air. The rear staircase slams open. In the chaos of storm and shadow, D.B. Cooper steps into the void. He vanishes into the night sky. On the ground, the storm rages. Radar blips vanish into static. Search planes comb forests and rivers, but the wilderness is vast, unforgiving. The FBI launches the largest manhunt in aviation history. Soldiers, police, volunteers scour the Cascades. Helicopters sweep valleys, rivers, ridges, yet no trace is found. No parachute, no body, no man called Dan Cooper. What follows is years of investigation. The FBI interviews hundreds of suspects, ex-paratroopers, ex-convicts, men with aviation knowledge, military service, criminal pasts. Each promising lead collapses. Each suspect falls apart under scrutiny. Then, nearly a decade later, a boy discovers a bundle of decayed bills buried in sand along the Columbia River. The serial numbers match the ransom. It is the first real evidence that Cooper, or at least his money, touched the earth again. Yet even this clue deepens the mystery. If he perished in the jump, where is the rest of the money? If he survived, why leave thousands behind? Theories swirl. Some say Cooper drowned in the icy rivers. Others insist he lived, blending into obscurity with the cash. A few even claim he was an insider, a soldier, a pilot, a man trained to vanish. But the trail grows cold. Leads dry up. The case becomes a puzzle with no solution. In the decades that follow, D.B. Cooper is no longer just a fugitive. He is legend. Songs are written in his name. Bars pour drinks called The Cooper. Movies and novels reimagine his leap. Every few years, a new suspect emerges. A deathbed confession, a faded photograph, a familiar face in the background of history. Yet nothing sticks. The FBI officially closes the case in 2016, calling it one of the greatest unsolved crimes in American history. But for many, the mystery lives on. Cooper represents something deeper, not just crime, but defiance. A man who took money from the sky, leapt into the storm, and slipped forever into myth. The image endures, a suited figure, tie whipping in the wind, parachuting into darkness with fortune strapped to his body, a ghost swallowed by the night, and as long as the mystery remains, so too does the legend. On November 24, 1971, an unknown man hijacked a plane, extorted a fortune, and vanished into history. No name, no body, no conclusive trace, only questions carried on the wind. Did he drown in the wilderness below? Did he walk away, cash in hand, blending back into the crowd? Or is he still out there, a phantom survivor, watching the story of his own myth unfold? Perhaps we will never know. D.B. Cooper leapt into darkness and into legend. Only the sky knows the truth.